Have you seen ads claiming the IRS has a Fresh Start program that can help you settle your tax debts? Maybe you've heard radio commercials saying you can pay pennies on the dollar. Maybe you've seen TV ads promising tax debt relief. Or maybe you've searched online looking for ways to deal with the IRS debt and keep seeing the phrase Fresh Start program. If that's you, you're not alone. The IRS Fresh Start program is one of the most searched tax resolution topics online. Unfortunately, it's also one of the most misunderstood. Many taxpayers believe there is a special application called Fresh Start program. Others believe everyone automatically qualifies. Some people think the IRS is offering a one time settlement opportunity to anyone who owe them. The reality is much different. In today's video, we're going to discuss what the IRS Fresh Start program actually is, what it is not, who may benefit from the changes associated with the Fresh Start, and some of the biggest misconceptions taxpayers have about it. My name is Shane Harris. I'm an enrolled agent with Profit First Taxes, and I help taxpayers understand and resolve IRS problems. If you find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe because every week I'll be sharing information about IRS tax debts, collections, payment plans, penalties, and tax resolution strategies. Let's get started. So let's begin with the most important question. What is the IRS Fresh Start program? One of the biggest misconceptions is that the IRS Fresh Start program is a single program. It isn't. There is no Fresh Start application. There is no separate Fresh Start department at the IRS. There's no magic form called the Fresh Start form. Instead, Fresh Start is a term commonly used to describe a series of changes the IRS made over the years to help taxpayers resolve tax debts more easily. Those changes affect several existing tax resolution options. The goal was to make it easier for certain taxpayers to become compliant and address outstanding tax liabilities. So when someone says, I want to apply for the Fresh Start program, the first question should really be, which resolution option might fit your situation? Because the Fresh Start itself is not a standalone solution. It is more of an umbrella term covering several collections and resolution programs. Understanding the distinction is important because it helps set realistic expectations from the beginning. Now, let's discuss why there is so much confusion. Why so many people misunderstand Fresh Start? The confusion often comes from advertising. Tax resolution companies have spent years marketing Fresh Start as if it were a specific IRS program. You may have heard it like this: settle for pennies on the dollars, stop IRS collection today, eliminate your tax debt, Fresh Start can solve your IRS problems. While some taxpayers do qualify for favorable outcomes, the ads often leave important details out. What they don't always explain is that qualification matters, financial information matters, filing compliance matters, assets matter, income matter, collection potential also matters. The IRS doesn't simply erase tax debt because someone asked. Every case is evaluated based on its own facts and circumstances. This is why taxpayers with the same tax debt may have completely different outcomes. Let's talk about what the Fresh Start actually impacts. One of the areas affecting Fresh Start involves installment agreements. As we've discussed in previous videos, installment agreements allow taxpayers to pay tax debt over time. Changes associated with Fresh Start expanded access to certain payment arrangement for some taxpayers. The purpose was simply to process for qualifying individuals. Many taxpayers who previously may have struggled to obtain certain arrangements found the process easier than in earlier years. That doesn't mean everyone automatically qualifies, but it does mean payment plans become an important part of overall Fresh Start conversation. For many taxpayers, a payment plan is actually the most realistic and approachable solution. Not because it's exciting, not because it's heavily advertised, but because it fits their financial circumstances. Sometimes the simplest solution is the correct solution. Let's discuss another major component: offering compromise. Whenever Fresh Start is mentioned, many people immediately think about settling tax debt for less than the full amount owed. This is usually referred to offering compromise. And offering compromise allows certain taxpayers to resolve tax debt for less than the full balance if specific requirements are met. Now, here's the important part: not everyone qualifies. In fact, many taxpayers do not qualify at all. The IRS evaluates factors such as income, assets, equity, future earning potential, expenses, and overall ability to pay. The IRS wants to determine what is reasonably expected to collect. If the IRS believes taxpayers has the ability to fully pay the debt over time, and offering compromise may not be appropriate. This is one reason why ads can be misleading. They often focus on success stories while ignoring the qualification requirements. A taxpayer who owes $50,000 is not automatically eligible to settle that debt for $5,000. The numbers simply doesn't work that way. Every case is different, every financial situation is different, and every offering compromise is evaluated individually. Let's talk about another option often associated with Fresh Start: currently not collectible status. Many taxpayers have never heard of currently not collectible status. This is one reason I like to discuss it. Currently not collectible status may be appropriate for taxpayers experiencing significant financial hardships. In certain situations, the IRS may determine that collection activity should be suspended because the taxpayer cannot reasonably afford to make payments. This does not automatically eliminate the tax debt. However, it will temporarily stop certain collection activities. Many people are surprised to learn that the IRS recognizes financial hardship situations. The IRS understands that some taxpayers simply don't have the ability to pay at a given point in time. Again, qualification depends on the facts. But this option is often overlooked because it isn't advertised as heavily as offering compromise. Another area impacted by Fresh Start involves changes related to federal tax liens. Historically, tax liens created significant concerns for taxpayers. The IRS made adjustments intended to reduce some of the burden associated with tax liens under certain circumstances. This helps some taxpayers address tax debts while minimizing long-term impact of collection activity. The important takeaway is that Fresh Start was not just about settlements. It involved multiple collection and compliance initiatives. Unfortunately, many taxpayers only hear about one piece of the puzzle. Now let's talk about who may benefit from Fresh Start related options. Who may qualify for the relief? The answer depends on the taxpayer's circumstances. Factors often include filing compliance, income, expenses, assets, tax debt amount, and collection status. The first thing I generally look at is compliance. Are all required returns filed? Because many IRS resolution options require taxpayers to be compliant before moving forward. This is one reason our first video focused on unfiled tax returns. Before discussing solutions, we often need to address compliance. Once compliance is established, we can evaluate what options may be available. Let's discuss the biggest mistake taxpayers make. The biggest mistake is assuming Fresh Start automatically means debt forgiveness. It doesn't. Fresh Start is not a shortcut. It is not a loophole. It is not a guaranteed settlement program. What it really represents is access to existing IRS resolution tools that may help taxpayers address their obligations. Sometimes the solution is a payment plan. Sometimes it's currently not collectible status. Sometimes it's an offering compromise. Sometimes it's something else entirely. The key is matching the solution to the facts, not forcing the facts to fit the particular situation. Before we wrap up, let's answer a few common questions. Is Fresh Start still available? The program and collection options commonly associated with Fresh Start continues to exist, although the IRS procedures and rules may change over time. Is Fresh Start a settlement program? No, Fresh Start is not a single settlement program. It refers to collections of IRS initiatives and resolution options. Can everyone qualify? No, everyone does not qualify. Eligibility depends on the taxpayer's specific circumstances. Is an offering compromise the same thing as Fresh Start? No. An offering compromise is one potential resolution option often discussed as part of the Fresh Start. Do I need to be current on tax filing? In many situations, compliance is an important requirement before certain resolution options can move forward. Final thoughts. The IRS Fresh Start program is one of the most misunderstood topics in tax resolution. The good news is that real options may exist for taxpayers dealing with tax debts. The bad news is that many people are chasing marketing promises instead of understanding how the process actually works. The most important thing you can do is understand your situation, understand your compliance status, understand your financial condition, and understand what options may realistically be available to you. Before I let you go, remember this: tax problems rarely improve by themselves, but many can be resolved when addressed promptly. If you're dealing with IRS notices, unfiled returns, wage garnishments, tax debt, or any other IRS issues, schedule a consultation with Profit First Taxes. The link is in the description below. Even if you aren't ready to hire someone today, subscribe to the channel. Every week, I'll be sharing information to help you understand your options and avoid costly mistakes with the IRS. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.